But who can heal? Who can heal time? I know you made your mistakes. It's a natural act of imperfect act. And in fact, is it really, really such a crime? In events such as these, when our answers proceeded to riddle, 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 riddle in a rhyme. It's a riddle in a rhyme. All through the obstacles around, it's truly only freedom that surrounds. With every breath, a living voice. With every rest, yes, there is a choice. And to see what you want to see, for it to be there must surely be mountains to climb, cliffs to scale, bridges to build, and we will persevere. And we will persevere. And we will persevere. Of imperfect act, and in fact, is it really, really such a crime? In events such as these, when our answers proceeded to riddle, 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 riddle in a rhyme. It's a riddle in a rhyme. It's a riddle in a, it's a riddle in a. It's a riddle in a, 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 it's a riddle in a rhyme.
Hey guys, Dave Darren here on a, what do they call this? Public service announcement. A public service announcement. I should probably title this for all the naive people out there that were born 2 weeks ago, all right? Here's what I thought. I did a program on this about 4 days ago because I bought this Ring device. Recently, I bought this Ring security device. If there's a little bit backtrack to you guys, I apologize. But we're going to get to some new material in about 5 minutes, all right? I bought this Ring device. Anyone that doesn't know what a Ring device is, you see it on TV a lot. What a Ring device is, it's a video surveillance camera. They have a variety of them. They have ones with a doorbell. Someone presses the doorbell, it connects to your cell phone, and you can see who's at your front door. And you can determine if you want to talk to them, or if you're in the house, you can determine if you want to open up the door based upon visually and audibly knowing who's at the front door. But there's other devices too. There's the ones that are indoor-outdoor cameras where you can see what's going outdoors. If it rains, you don't have to worry. The camera's going to survive the weather. Some of them, they're all motion sensor detective. There's one of them that actually has lights on it, so you can turn the lights on and sound a siren and all that stuff. So it's a pretty sophisticated piece of equipment. But the people that own them aren't that sophisticated. And I will tell you why. They just seem to, I don't know, people today lack common sense. I think that's what it is. They totally lack common sense. I don't understand what it is with these people that lack common sense. What happened is, well, about 4 days ago, I saw someone, because the Ring device, by the way, has an app. So you can actually go in there, and within a 3-mile radius, anyone that's had a problem, like a security violation or something is going on, they actually can share what happened in their neighborhood. Whether there was an owl flying around and they said that watch your dogs, your little dogs, because the owl's going to take the dogs away. If you determine that to be a security thing to report on the Ring app, you can do it. And then people typically say, you know why, there's owls. Yeah, there's owls all over in Arizona. You got to be aware of them anyway. I didn't say that one because I happen to care about dogs, so I kind of let that one slide, right? Then there's other ones, for instance, garage doors going up without anyone knowing why they're going up. They don't have no idea why. But I'm going to get to the point now. Right now, I'm going to get to the point. About 4 days ago, someone put up, and there were 3 people, not 1, not 2, 3 people had things happen to their vehicles. One was the car was unlocked. Now, first of all, the car is unlocked. What do you think? You live in the middle of the farm area where no one's coming around within a 10-mile radius? And when they do, you know them, so you don't have to worry about it. This is 2019, by the way. It's 2019. Even if you live in a farm community, I think you should lock your things up, right? So the guy's got a car unlocked, and he's got some stuff in his car. He had his daughter's prom dress, and it was stolen out of the vehicle, okay? And the guy had a Ring device thing. We could see the guy breaking into the car. He didn't have to break into the car. It was unlocked, all right, and stole the prom dress. Actually, about 3 years ago, there was an idiot in Arizona, and he had guns stolen out of his unlocked vehicle, all right? And first of all, he's got his gun in the car overnight in an unlocked vehicle. Someone broke into his unlocked vehicle. They didn't have to break into his unlocked vehicle. They opened the door to his vehicle, stole the gun out. And I call that guy a complete and total idiot, a complete and total brain-dead person. And he came all over me. He said, oh, what? I'm a victim now? My gun was stolen. And now, Dave, you're calling me a victim? You know what? I'm saying everyone in your neighborhood's a victim because there's a gun on the street now, illegally possessed, and who's going to buy that gun? Someone is going to use the gun to endanger others. Theft, robbery, crime, whatever. So I'm going to get back to the point on this one. So the Ring device, someone had that, a prom dress and other stuff stolen out of his unlocked vehicle parked in his driveway. Someone else reported that their vehicle was broken into with an attempted theft of that vehicle, trying to hotwire it and stealing the vehicle. Now, I think the car was locked, so he actually broke into the car. So the third one, somebody actually keyed a car that was in the person's driveway. They took the key and they scratched it, and they actually wrote curse words on it, right? So 3 things happened with a car outside of the garage, in the what do they call that? I just had it inside the driveway. All right. So I got on the Ring app, and I replied to one of them. I don't think I replied to all 3. And I said, you know what? I live in Arizona periodically. I've been here too long now. I'm getting frustrated. I got to get back to the East Coast. But I've been in Arizona, and I drive down, and I'm taking our dog for a walk, and I see a bunch of garages open. Now, they're more open in the summer, and I guess what people think is if they get the intense heat buildup that's in their garage, open the garage door so some air comes out, the buildup of heat in the garage comes out, so they can protect what? Their cars from getting damaged from gaskets drying out, so they don't have to have engine work done, transmission done because their gaskets are not drying out because they're letting some of the intense hot air out of the garage, all right? Then I have a next door neighbor, by the way, who leaves his garage open because he's got a cat. And he bought the cat. It was like a $1,500 cat, by the way. And he opens up the garage so the cat can come and go as it pleases, all right? Now, actually, he had 2 cats. One of the cats is now missing, which is a total bummer because I was actually going outside and petting the cat because they're cute cats. He told me he thinks one of 2 things happened. either the owl stole the cat, or the second thing he thinks is there's a web app in the community I live in, and someone was reporting that there's a cat in the neighborhood because this guy leaves his cat out free, even though it's a $1,500 cat. He leaves it out, and one of the neighbors was pissed and got on the local area website and said he's pissed because a cat's walking on his car with the nails and scratching the surface of his car. So my neighbor either thinks an owl stole his cat and decided to eat it for breakfast, or he thinks maybe the neighbor that complained about the cat on the car, maybe took the cat in because he saw his cats on his car. It's a $1,500 cat. It's walking on my car, scratching my car up. You know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take his $1,500 cat for the $1,500 worth of damage he did to my brand new Mercedes in the parking lot, right? So, or he thinks it's something else happened. Someone just came through the neighborhood, saw the cat, and decided to take the cat, and realized it was whatever the case is. So there's an instant where somebody is doing something to impact a neighbor with his brand new Mercedes out in the driveway, scratching up the guy's car with his stray cat, which isn't a stray cat, it's his personal cat, but he's letting it outside like a stray cat. So see, there goes a person that's angry. And a solution was made. The cat's gone. The other cat's still around. But you got to think about, when you put the cat outside, it's going to climb on cars. If someone's got a car in their driveway that's getting scratched up, that person that owns that Mercedes or Porsche is going to get pissed. But okay, so now here's what happened. So I got on and I talked to this one guy. One of the three that had, I think I got on with the one that had his prom dress stolen out of his car from his child. I think that's the one I responded to. Or I responded to the one that had his car keyed, whichever one it was. And I said, here's a good idea. I drive through Arizona. I see all the cars, not all. I see some garage doors open. And it's always dawned on me, and I told my wife, I said, you know what? Isn't it stupid? Someone's going to go in the garage and they're going to steal something. And if it's on the East Coast and you got your garage open, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get ripped off. A pretty good chance you're going to get something stolen out of your garage. It's a stupid thing to do. You're street smart. You don't do that stuff. You don't have to be told that. It's like common sense. And I know why they do it, because here in Arizona, there's very few houses with basements or attic space. It puts stuff in the attic with 115 degrees. It's going to melt. So that's why it's not in the attic. It's not a basement because there is no basement. So they accumulate the crap or the hoarding stuff they do. There's that TV show Hoarding. And they hoard all their stuff in their garage. So you go past their garage and you see why the car isn't their garage. All the shit's in their garage. All the bassinets, all the carriages for their young kid that's now 20 years old. They got that shit in their garage. You know what? Get rid of it, sell it. If you have some kind of memory of that carriage, you know what? Take a picture of it and get rid of the friggin' carriage. So you can park your car in the garage. So you know what? When you park your car in the garage, that thief that's out there trying to make the quickest attack on your property that he can, the simplest attack is your exposed vehicle in your driveway. So they're not going to break into your house. It's too much effort. There's a worry about if there's a person that owns the house has got a gun ready to shoot your ass. So he's going to get 3 in the morning, and all these things were like at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, these break-ins into cars. So they're going to go to your car that's out in the street or out in your driveway, and they're going to rip off your car or try to open your car. If it's unlocked, they don't have to worry about unlocking your car and getting in there. They can open a door like they own the car and get in there and steal whatever's there. Or they're going to do what one guy did, is he violated the car by putting a key on it, keying it up. So he damaged your vehicle. So you know what? Get rid of the shit in your garage and park the car in the garage. Now, if you have a 2-car garage and you got 3 vehicles, husband, wife, kid, then you're kind of stuck with one car being out, and it's probably going to be your kid's car because it was a $3,000 car. So you're going to think no one's going to want to steal it. So you let that car's out in the driveway, and that's the way it is. But the husband and wife's car, the Mercedes and the Porsche, are in the garage. They're safe from vandalism, theft, open door that you forgot to lock with stuff stolen out of it. It's safe, all right? So I did that one about 4 days ago. Today I got online and I saw someone else reporting, and what was it? I'm trying to think of it now. I lost my train of thoughts. What was it? Do I have to go in here and look? I'm a little bit brain dead right now. Hang on, guys. What? Oh yeah, garage open. Okay, garage open this time. This is not the car not in the garage because a bunch of shit is in the garage is being hoarded. This is an open garage. And by the way, an open garage in Arizona is an open garage with a bunch of shit in it, right? Now you got some stuff that's valuable. You may have a lawnmower in there. You may have a leaf blower in there. You may have some tools in there. Someone sees a garage open. What's a criminal going to think? They're not going to think about it's illegal to go in that garage and rip stuff off because they're criminals. They're not going to care about doing something illegal. They're going to care about getting caught, but they're not going to worry about, well, should I go in this guy's garage? And then think, you know what? It's criminal to do that. It's illegal to do that. I better not do it. They're criminals. That's what their intent is to get in, steal stuff, and get the hell out of there, right? That's their intent. So this guy posted on here that his garage was, something was stolen out of his garage. Now, I don't know if this guy's garage was open, but I know other people have their garages open. So I get on the Ring device and I say, you know what? You know what? This is 2019. Were you born 2 weeks ago? It's 2019. And you're in somewhat of a decent sized city. You're not in New York City or Philadelphia, but you're in a city. Phoenix, Arizona has 5 million people, by the way. Now, this happens to be east of the city, so there's less people than 5 million. And 5 million constitutes, by the way, Phoenix and the metro areas. Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert, all Apache Junction. So it encompasses more than just Metro Phoenix to calculate that 5 million. But it's a city of some decent size. It's 2019, it's not 1960. You open your garage and there's an opportunity for theft. Do you have to be educated to realize that? Do you have to be told that? And actually, I told them, I said, you know what? Don't be naive. Be street smart and close your garage. If you got nothing in your garage, isn't it still dangerous? Because you're taking one door that's a separation between you and someone wanting to come into your house. You got the garage door buffer, and then you got the inside door between the garage and entering the facility, the home. So you got a double barricade there. If you leave your garage door open, even if there's nothing at all in your garage, not even a car, even if you just bought the house yesterday and there's nothing in it, you're going to leave the garage open and expose one extra entry point of security open so someone can go in your garage and then try to manipulate the door handle to get into your home? Are you going to do that? That's kind of stupid anyway, even if there's nothing in your garage. So I posted that, and I had a bunch of people hostile at me for the other one. And for today, they told me, they said, you know, one guy said, this is ridiculous. The one guy said, oh, so leaving the garage open is an invitation to a criminal to come in my garage when they know they shouldn't be there because it's a crime? And I had to answer him and say, yeah, criminals don't care about the legality of coming in your garage and the illegal nature of stealing stuff out of the garage. They don't care about that. They are criminals. They're going to come into your garage whether you think they should or not based upon their moral foundation, and then worried about committing a crime. They're not worried about committing a crime. Why? Because they're criminals. So I had this one brain dead guy, and I said, what were you born 2 weeks ago? I said, you know, it's 2019 now. And I said, it's not 1960. I said, you gotta be street smart. I said, you're not street smart, so here's a guy is teaching you some street smarts. Because he said on here, he said, what are you, the educational guy on the Ring app? And I said, well, I guess I got to educate you because you're not thinking on your own. You told me that anyone coming into my garage, stealing stuff out, knows it's a crime. So that's the barrier that he thinks is going to be protecting him from the criminal, is because the criminal, all of a sudden, as he's coming close to your garage, he's going to have a thought in his head that, oh my God, if I cross this one extra step into his garage, I'm committing a crime. They don't give a fuck about that. It's a crime they're willing to commit because they're criminals. So you got this one guy saying that the barrier between him and safety and not getting ripped off is the fact that it's a crime. And people aren't going to commit a crime. They're criminals. They're going to commit a crime. I had to, open up the guy's eyes, open up his mind, open up his brain to educate him in something that's common sense. I can't believe, the more I'm on this app, the more wacky I'm getting, because I feel like here I should do like a what I should do is I should rent out the local library and have a 101 in safety. I should call it Common Sense Safety 101 and have people come in there and give my little dissertation, and maybe have a policeman come in and give his dissertation to say, Dave's not nuts. Listen to the guy, he's got some street smarts. He's from the big city, because Phoenix is not a big city. No matter how much you want to pretend it's a big city, it ain't. New York City, Philadelphia, Boston, Chicago, these are big cities. You think anyone in Philadelphia, New York City, Chicago leaves their garage door open. Do you think that that actually happens? Do you think so? I doubt it. And if those guys are leaving their garage doors open, I wonder how many of them have been robbed. What percentage of them have been ripped off? Why expose yourself to this? Why then, when I put out something there on the Ring device and call them out as being idiots? I don't start off calling them idiots. I start out by telling them what was stupid about what they did and how naive they are. Then when I get people attacking me, then I do come out and I say, what are you, a 2-week-old idiot that doesn't know any better? How could you not know this? So that's what I came out and I said. So we'll see. I'm going to post this tonight on the Ring app. And I'm going to post this video and see if anyone has anything to say about it. Let's see. John's on here. John's always here. I'm having trouble commenting. And I can only guess why is probably I did post this link on the Ring app. I wonder if someone got on there, because they can do it on Facebook. They can complain about the topic and it gets blocked. I bet someone on that Ring app complained, and YouTube now has put a little block on the thing. Let's see. I'll put up my cell phone, see if I got any acknowledgement. Let's see. I put it on YouTube, so let me see if anything on YouTube pops up. Because Facebook gives you a little thing saying, oh, we're pissed off at you. We're blocking you, and we're going to put you in Facebook jail for a period of time. Let's see if I got anything here. I've got a couple things in my inbox. Let's see what I got. Nothing at the moment, but that doesn't mean anything. There's always a delay. It seems like whenever I get a block from Facebook and my thing is not streaming, I get it posted way after the Facebook show's finished. It's almost like Facebook doesn't want to tell me that I'm being impacted right now. They want me to keep going on, and then eventually, 10 minutes after the broadcast is finished, I get something, guess what? You were blocked. They don't want to tell you during the show because I don't know why. Probably because they want to piss you off more. That's why they want to piss you off to the max. Let's see. John says here a couple things. He said, I'm having trouble commenting. John also says, my friend, his son left the car door unlocked. Somebody stole everything from his car. So now, you know what? My friend, so did you, John, tell your friend, well, you know what? You invited that criminal by leaving your car door unlocked. I mean, if you lock your car door, then there's a possibility that if that guy sees something in the car that looks attractive, he's going to break the window and he's going to steal what's in there. It's a little harder to steal a physical vehicle these days because you got all these blocking mechanisms. You got no longer do you have the little T at your window where you can put like a clothes hanger in there and pull up the T, which is your lock, and you unlock the door that way. Remember that easy way to unlock car doors? You got the locking steering wheel. You've got an alarm system, which everyone ignores now. The alarm system is a bonehead thing to do. It's useless. As soon as someone hears an alarm, they think it's that was my alarm of my belly telling me I got to eat soon. The alarm system, just when people hear it, they think it's an annoyance of someone that doesn't know how to operate their vehicle. It can go on for 10 minutes and people just think, well, that's an idiot, doesn't know how to use those alarms. There's no thought at all about the car being stolen. And even if the car is being stolen, people don't care. It's just someone else's car. Fuck it. It's not my alarm. It doesn't sound like my alarm. I know what my alarm sounds like. It's not my alarm if someone's car is getting stolen. Fuck it. It's getting stolen. Forget it. Then, of course, they got the key, which has the chip in it. So even if you can put a key in there to be able to turn the car to its ignition position, it's not going to start because the key's got a transmitter and the car's got a receiver to acknowledge the signal and enable you to start the car up. So there's all these things here. And then, by the way, it's a pain in the ass having all these devices. And then your car insurance goes up. Your car insurance should be going down because there's more and more and more and more things preventing your car from getting stolen. Yet your car insurance keeps going up when the security of your car being parked is a lot safer than it used to be. So why the fuck is the car insurance going up? It should be going down because it's harder to steal the vehicle. But of course not. Of course not. It ain't going to go fucking down. John says, yes, he said he thought it was locked. Well, there you go. He's going to think again. I bet he's going to make sure every day he goes out there, he's going to make sure his car, he learned a lesson. He was an idiot that didn't lock his car, didn't validate that it was locked. And I'll tell you today, depending on the car he had, if he had a car the kiosk, or what do they call that? The key fob. If it's pre-key fob, then you may not press everyone's got a key fob. They press the thing and the car's locked. You get the signal telling you it's locked. I mean, that could fail, and maybe the signal does signal, but the car didn't lock. I know this. My car gets like my wife's car. She's the only one that's got a newer vehicle. All my other vehicles are old enough where they don't have that mechanism in them. But if she presses it and it chimes once, I think it's locked. If it chimes twice, it warns you that you didn't lock the car for some reason. Maybe the door is a little bit ajar, so it won't lock. The key fob will tell you that because the signal from the car will tell you that it's not locked. But there's this guy, John's friend here. I bet he learned his lesson, didn't he? He's probably making sure his car's locked from now on because he had stuff ripped off. So there you go. You learn a lesson from stupidity. You learn a lesson from stupidity. And should you learn a lesson from stupidity? Absolutely you should, because there's enough stupid people out there. Let's give them an education of how stupid they were. And you pay a consequence for the stupidity. That's a great thing about stupidity. When you get a repercussion for being stupid, right? It's great. I love people being stupid and they suffer a consequence for being stupid. I love that. I love that ability to have them, because they won't admit they were stupid. They won't. They'll deny it. They'll deny that they were stupid until they receive a consequence for being stupid, which is great. I love people that get a consequence for their stupidity. It's great. So that's all I got to say. I just wanted to put that out there, and I want to put it on the Ring app. I wonder if anyone in my neighborhood is going to see this. Who knows? Actually, it's fortunate that some of these crimes that took place are at the 3-mile perimeter, so they won't pinpoint me walking around the neighborhood and say, oh, there's the guy that did this on the Ring device. So then they're gonna stalk me then, right? And they're gonna say, here's this lunatic. Let's get even with him. Won't be able to get even with me with my cars because they're all in the garage. Because I'm street smart. Anyone else got anything to say? John's the only one that commented. There's not a whole lot of people watching. Probably because most people are kind of annoyed with me. They're bored with my crap topics. They're bored with my hostility. They're bored with my rants. One guy called me a whiner, and I said, yeah, one guy literally called me a whiner. And I said, you know what? It's good to be a whiner because whenever I go to a bar, I get free wine. So I went out and I said that. John says, I think I'm the only one here. Yes, it seems like you are the only one here. And that's okay because, like I said, I don't do this show for popularity. When I start doing the music show, hopefully it becomes more popular. I had someone that said, they were criticizing me because I stopped doing the UFO and the paranormal show. And they said, Dave, how much patience did you have? And I said, you know what? I admit to 2 faults. One is I lack patience. The second thing is I was in denial that I wanted to have more and more people visit the show that I was doing. More visitors, more listeners to the Dave Darren UFO Paranormal Show. I was in denial. Then actually what happened is Facebook was giving me some free reach of my show, and then suddenly they ceased doing that and they chop you off, reduce your reaching by 75%. So then they want you to pay for the 75% increase by boosting the show on Facebook. So they want money from you, obviously. So what happened is, so I said to the person that gave me that critique, I said, you know what? I lack patience, and the second thing I lack is honesty. I was looking for more viewers. I really was. I was not for the financial aspect, but I was looking for more viewers because I wanted the show to grow. I have more drive and ambition than to just be satisfied with 50 listeners, 100 listeners. At one point, I had 2,200 listeners to the Dave Darren Show when Facebook was not trimming my pubes by limiting my reach. I was having 2,200 views. It was going up. It went up from 500, 600, 700. I tracked it. 800, 1,000. Then it peaked at 1,200. Then it jumped within like a month to 2,200. And then all of a sudden on May 1st, it went down from 2,200 to 500 listeners. And my reach went down from 6,000 reach to 2,000 reach. That's why my listeners dropped down, because the reach wasn't there. No one knew that the show was coming on because the reach was collapsed. So that's what happened. So good to see Ariziana. And we got Ariziana join now. You missed most of it. I'm going to hang up in a second, but you can replay this and see what I want to talk about today, which is the hostility I get from people that don't like my commentary, don't like my educations to them to give them some ideas of common sense and how to use common sense and how not to be naive. You can play it back, Ariziana, because this is today's topic. But like I said, the person that critiqued me dropping out of the UFO and paranormal show, what happened is I realized, why do I do the paranormal show? And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, you know what? I want to have more people join the show. I want the show to have a larger reach. I'm the only one sharing the show. There were like a couple people once in a while that shared the show, not many at all. There were not many callers into the show. There were quite a few chatters, but you know, it's an audio-visual show. It's a show that has call-ins. When no one calls in, but everyone types in chat, you know what? That's sort of a show that's not being successful because people don't want to call in. And then the grow of the show, I wanted the show to grow more. I decided in my mind, I was thinking about the paranormal show I'm doing, where it went down from 2,200 views down to like 100 views. I started thinking, you know what? What's the sense in doing this when the show's not growing? And I decided I don't want it to grow for financial reasons. I want it to grow because I want more of an audience so we can all enjoy each other, chat more, call on the phone more, interact with each other more. I wanted the show to grow. It didn't grow, so here I am. I'm going to go back to the music video show because I had more success with that than I have with the paranormal show and opening up to any topic, because people still love music. Unfortunately, people rip off music. They pirate it, and it shouldn't be called pirate. It should be called theft, because that's what it is. It's as bad as going into your garage door with the stupidity of having the garage door open and having some criminal steal your stuff in the garage because the garage door is open. And it's almost identical to that, because today's bands, they put their music out there on SoundCloud and Reverb Nation, hoping that that one person, that agent or that talent scout, is going to make them millionaires because they found them. So they're leaving their garage door open by putting all of their music, all of their inventory on SoundCloud and Reverb Nation, leaving the garage door open, and what happens? People go in the garage door and they steal shit. People go on to SoundCloud and Reverb Nation, they take all your music that you're enabling them to do, having all your music out there. So they're ripping your music off. And they're ripping your music off. They're ripping off your intellectual capital. Isn't that what it is? Because it came from your mind. Worse than that, it came from your heart and your soul, because you wrote it with the emotional intensity that's in music, and you're getting ripped off. And you're enabling yourself to get ripped off by being stupid enough to putting all your music out there. So I hope that the show, because I'm going to make sure that any band that comes on my music show, if I don't do a show every week because I don't have enough bands on it or seriously interested in mutually promoting each other, I'm going to promote them. They better well promote me. Otherwise, they're going to get on my blacklist of people never to have on the show again. So I'm going to be looking for the music, I call them the rock warriors. I'm going to look for the rock warriors who are going to promote the Dave Darren Show, because I'm going to spend the effort to promote them. And that's the way the show is going to grow. And I'm going to make sure that I have those rock warriors and only rock warriors on the Dave Darren Show. If you're a band that wants to come on the show and you're listening right now and you were thinking about coming on the show, but you know you've got no work ethic, you know what? Fucking don't get on the show, because I want only the people that are going to give as much effort in as I give effort out. Otherwise, forget it. Don't come on the show if you have no work ethic and no time to be doing that work ethic. And how much time does it take to share a show to your friends in the group that you've created, and put it in a Facebook invite out there to invite your friends to come on and check out the show? How much effort does that take? Pretty much a zero effort, right? It takes how long does it take to press a button to like the show? One click on your mouse. That's all it takes. Yet it seems like the bands they wanted to come on the show. After they came on the show, there was no work effort expended beyond that. So that's going to change, because I ain't busting my ass anymore for a bunch of lazy fucks, to be honest with you. And that's the way I put it. A bunch of lazy fucks ain't getting on this show. And the last show I did before I sunset the show, here's why I sunset the music show. For anyone that's interested at all, this is exactly why. I went to interview a band in their practice space. And when I went in there, I said, you know what? I'm going to do this interview. I'm going to do the video interview. I got the video cameras here. I set them up. I set up the mics. And I said, you know what? We got to mutual promote each other. I'm going to promote you guys on the 28 groups I belong to for music, or I think it was more than that. 28 was the amount of groups I belonged to for the UFO show. I think I belonged to 40 groups for the music show. And I had someone else, Rock Solid Talent Entertainment, busting his ass to promote the show on their behalf. And then when they didn't lift a finger to promote the show, when I was doing it, Rock Solid Talent Entertainment was doing it, getting them views. Here's what happened with the last band before I forget my train of thought. I set up all the cameras. I was only doing it. I told Rock Solid Talent Entertainment, these guys ain't worth it. Don't spend the effort to spend your time. I'll spend my time and see what happens. So I'm there in their practice space, and I told them we got to mutually promote. One of the guys in the band came over to me. He said, Dave, he said, you know what? We give you our talent. We give you our music. We give you our voices for the interview, our dialogue. It's your responsibility alone to promote your own show. We're not going to do it. We're not going to promote your show. You know what I did? I packed up all my shit and I got the fuck out of there. And I was recording a little bit. I erased it. In fact, I erased it in front of them. I got my recorder here. This is one of the recorders I bring. It's got XLRs down the bottom, so I connect it to a soundboard. It's a pretty cool device. I also have a mixer and all that. So I have pretty decent equipment. I have Electro Voice mics and a Rhodes mic and other mics miscellaneously in there, which were expensive mics. They ain't cheap mics. I actually had this recorder up there. I punched up erase. I showed them the erase. I said, you know what? Because you guys are douchebags, I pressed the button erase. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm out of here. And you know what? If they got angry with me, you know what? I'm a big guy. I can beat the crap out of people. Typically, I can handle myself because not only am I street smart, I'm also street smart when it comes to physically being able to handle myself. Now, 4 guys in a band may be able to overpower me, but you know what? I'm going to take the biggest one the fuck out. That's the way I am because, unfortunately, I've got an East Coast attitude. And you don't fuck with the East Coast people, by the way. You don't do that. Anyone else say anything here? Ariziana said, I'm here. You missed most of the show. Please replay it back. Brian Anderson, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm back to the music gig. So if you have bands that... Brian Anderson's a guy that works with some bands. Brian, if you got some bands to send me, but I'm going to ask you, make sure you qualify them and say, look, if I recommend you to Dave's show, you're going to have to do a few things. One is belch. Another one is make sure that you promote the show because Dave's going to monitor it. If you do, and this is what I'm going to do too, before the show airs, I'm going to ask the band to put up an event invite. If they don't put up an event invite, you know what? I ain't wasting my time doing an interview with them. That's the first thing. They got to put up an event invite saying on this date, I'm going to be on Dave Darren's show. And I'm going to record an interview with them, either pre-record it ahead of time for any bands that come on, like from the UK, for any bands that have trouble committing to the time zone that I'm working on, which is going to be 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern time, on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm going to do a Wednesday show and a Thursday show because Thursday is a great night to do a show because it's before the weekend, and Wednesday's before the Thursday show. So I figured I would do back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday. So at least the band coming on Wednesday and Thursday, they can promote their gig on the weekend that's coming up. So I think that's going to add a little bit of excitement to it. So if you don't put an event invite up and say, I'm on Dave's show, I'm going to be on his broadcast on this date, and we're going to predetermine the date that the show is going to run, whether it be a live show, because I'm going to try to have some bands come on live so you guys can talk to them and ask them questions about their band, ask them about groupies that are following them around, so we're going to get some wild shit going on. So hopefully there'll be some live bands that come on. I'm going to try to make sure that most of them are live so I can have them on to talk to you guys. And the pre-records, and we're going to come up with a date when either the live show is going to be running live or the pre-record is going to be aired. So everyone's going to know when they're on. And if they don't put an invite up acknowledging when I'm planning to have them on the show live or pre-record, if they don't put the event up, I'm going to cancel the interview. I'm not going to do the interview until they put the invite up. That's going to be the stipulation I've got going on here to make sure this show now acquires success that I desire it to have and mandate that it has, because I'm sick and tired of, I was in denial thinking, you know what, I'm doing the show for a select group of people and that was fun, but you know what, I got more drive and ambition. I want the show to be more successful. Not for me financially, but to interject success into a bunch of musicians, but only the ones that are deserving of it, and they're going to be deserving of it based upon my witnessing them to have a work ethic. That's the way things are going to rock and roll from now on when I reintroduce the music show, which I believe is going to be next weekend. Now the first show is going to be a Saturday show. I'm going to do a Saturday pilot. After that, it's going to be a Wednesday, Thursday show. But the first Saturday show I'm projecting to be Saturday the 12th. I think that's going to be the launch of the music video interview Dave Darren show. It's going to be Saturday, October 12th is going to be the launch. After that, we're going to shoot for Wednesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. East Coast time, or 7 p.m. Pacific Coast time, 10 o'clock Eastern time. However, if a band does not prove to me that they're going to be promoting the show as hugely as I'm going to be, I'm going to cancel the interview, and unfortunately we won't have a show that week because I'm not going to put out quantity any longer. It's going to be based upon quality. We're going to go for quality now. We ain't going to go for quantity. If I have to miss a Wednesday show or a Thursday show, I'm going to come online briefly. I'm going to talk about the music scene, but you ain't going to have a band on that show. That's the way it's going to be. I will only demand bands to come on. I will only allow bands to come on that are outstanding and serious about their profession, because it is called the music business. For some reason, people take the word business out of music business. There's two words, music business. Actually, there should be no gap in the middle between music and business. They should take the little gap out of there, the space, and combine it to being one word, because it's music business. That's what it is. And people in the music business these days, they say to me, and they have said to me, they do it for the love of music. If you do it for the love of music for a long enough time, you know what? That music love is going to turn into bitterness. Because you know why? You put your heart and soul into it. If you're not getting the deserved acknowledgement that you've earned it. You put the effort in, you earned it. You're not entitled. You're never entitled to anything. You've got to earn what you deserve. You're never deserving when you think you're entitled. That's bullshit. The only way you earn is via your work effort and your work ethic. So you earn your keep. That's the way I do this. So that's the way it's got to be in the music business. And all these people that say they do it for the love of music. You know what? You do it for the love of music, but have some integrity, especially for the other bands. You know, there are bands that have a work ethic, and they believe that all their work ethic, all their hard work, all their effort, all their heart and soul that they put into the music, they do it not because they're greedy, but that's their job. That's their day gig, is writing music. And they're not entitled to earning an income. They're deserving of the income because they're busting their ass. That's their business. That's their music business. And for you guys that say you do it for the love of music, you're damaging those people that are doing it, because not only are they good at it and they're professional at it, but they're there because they've got to eat. They got to pay mortgages. They got to pay bills. So you're there doing it just for the fun of it. When you do stuff for fun, you do damage the people that are doing it from a business perspective. So you got to think about that, but no one thinks about that. And I'm the only guy that's out there doing a radio show that actually explains this shit to people. And people have to start waking the fuck up. They really do. They got to wake the fuck up. Let's see. John says here, what else? Let's see. Call random people, see if they are listening. You know, I've done that before. I'm not going to do that tonight because I got to get out with the dog in about 15 minutes. So I'm not going to call it random. I've done that before, by the way. I've gotten on Skype and I've gotten on Facebook and I've randomly called people. I've done that before. John maybe knows that because he put the quote out there. What's the difference between a musician and pizza? Ariziana says crust. And John says a pizza can feed a family of 4. There you go. How about that? It's true. And that's because the musicians do it to themselves. Actually, it didn't start off that way. I do still have 15 minutes. So I'll tell you what started this whole fiasco, and everyone knows, or everyone should know. It was Napster. Napster was the fans of the mainstream bands, the AC/DCs, the Pink Floyd. They were the ones that bought the albums, turned it into a digital product. They took the album or the LP or the cassette or whatever they had with the technology to turn everything into digital. And then they shared it with people that they didn't even know. They put it on the Napster, which was file sharing, if you remember the words. And it went out to people that they never even met. It wasn't their best friend, wasn't their girlfriend. It was people that they put it on for it to be shared by millions of people that never even knew the person that was sharing it. They didn't know him. It was bottom line, they called it piracy. You know what? It wasn't piracy again. The correct word was theft. People should have gone to jail on that first theft. I don't care if it was a 14-year-old kid. The kid should have been thrown in jail. It was theft. You should know better than to have stuff stolen or putting it for a product to be stolen. It's like going to a store and going in the store and walking out with a product that you didn't pay for. You stole it. It's the same thing with the music. It was a product. You put it out there and it was stolen. Bottom line, it was stolen. It should have been repercussions, significant repercussions for now. I think Metallica is one of the ones that was actually in the forefront of bringing that Napster fucking thing down. So then next thing that happened is then everyone was brilliant. All these non-mainstream bands, the ones trying to become mainstream bands, when Reverb Nation and SoundCloud came out there, which is a distribution media for bands that are not well known to put their music out there, and then everyone goes out there and puts their whole friggin' catalog of music out there to be experienced by people that take the music and download it. Basically, it's enabled theft. And the bands do that because they see social media and Napster and SoundCloud as a way to get their product out there in hopes that that one guy, I said this earlier, that one guy who's a manager, who's a label, is going to find them and say, oh, holy fuck, I got to make these people rock stars. They were hoping for that one guy. But how many of those one guys are there that are out there monitoring Reverb Nation and SoundCloud to turn you into rock stars? Basically, you might as well play the friggin' lottery, all right? Might as well do that. So there was an enabling of bands putting their shit out there stupidly. And then you know what happens? This is what happens beyond that. And I've seen this happen. A fan of a band that likes the band sees they got all their shit on SoundCloud or Reverb Nation. They download all their music, stick it on their playlist on their cell phone. They stick it on here, right? And then when the band comes to town, or if the band happens to be a band that performs in their town, they contact the band. They say, hey man, I'm your best fan. I love your music. I see you're playing at Rockwood Music Hall in New York City, or Bitter End in New York City, or Bowery Electric in New York City. I am your best fan. Can you put me on your guest list? Guest list, if you don't know it, that's free admission to see the band play because they invited you in as a guest. That's what the guest list is. And they say that you're your best. They're your best fan. You know what they did? They were successful in ripping off all your material, playing your music constantly, but they never paid for your music. Yet they want to pretend that they're your best fans. You know what they are? They're the people that ripped you off the most. And then they want to be on the guest list so they can come in there and rip you off by not paying for the gig that you're performing in, to give you money that's valuably earned by you spilling your guts out there on stage performing for them, and they ain't even paying you for the performance. Can you get into a movie theater and see the next Star Wars movie that's coming out? Or I think Stallone's got a new Rambo movie coming out. You think you can contact Stallone and ask him to get on the guest list so you can get your ass in the movie theater? Yeah, I'm sure whoever he's banging right now gets to get in there and watch Rocky perform, because she's seeing him perform in the bedroom. She might as well see him perform in the movie, right? Beyond that, you ain't getting in to see Rocky's new Rambo movie on the guest list for free. So why do you expect to get on the guest list with these bands whose music you stole and not pay, and then you get in there for free? Or if you got in there for free and you asked to get in there for free and you stole all their music, you think you're going to buy any of their merchandise at their merch booth? Fuck no, you ain't. So, the whole music scene is a shattered mess. So I'm one of the guys who's going to come out there and try to turn it around. But I'm going to turn it around with the Rock Warriors, who are going to help me to promote them, and they're going to help promote my show. Mutually, we're going to grow the show. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see if I get my ass frustrated again, and we'll see what happens. Let's see, what else? Ariziana says, cute. A pizza can feed a family of four. Ariziana says that was a cute comment. I have an interview that day and my grandma's school reunion that night. Oh, you mean on Wednesday nights. Madonna released her new album at the time at the time to Napster. Every song was her saying fuck you over and over. If you wanted her music, you had to buy it. That's interesting. And you know what? At the time Napster was out there, I kind of was not sure what to think about it, but pretty quickly, within a couple weeks of seeing Napster on my own, I decided, you know what, this fucking sucks. So Madonna's got some balls. Maybe she bought them from Bruce Jenner. I don't know. Evidently she had some balls. Maybe Bruce Jenner lost his balls a lot sooner before he turned into Caitlyn Jenner. Maybe she gave her balls to Madonna, because Madonna back that time had a lot of balls. It's cool. I like her attitude. I like Madonna. I like her. Plus she's sexy. I like her. Or was sexy. I don't know what she looks like now. Who knows? That's all I got. And I said it. That's all I got for tonight. Tonight's Thursday night. I was supposed to be on, but remember, I did tell you guys that the show is going to change to a new format. So I forgot that I usually do shows at 7, so I came on early tonight, forgetting tonight's actually Thursday night. But there we go. For people that think the show's on at 7, hopefully you'll see the Facebook invite. And you'll go to YouTube and you'll play the show. And hopefully this new rock gig I got coming on a week from this Saturday, again, the date will be the 12th, will be the pilot of the show, which is going to be a pre-record. So there's not going to be a lot of people talking to each other. If you come on there and you want to chat amongst yourselves, you won't be able to ask me or the band a question, because the pilot will be a pre-record. But the other shows, I'm hoping at least 80% of them will be live shows where you can interface and talk to the band. 20% will unfortunately have to be bands that are like in the UK with like a 7-hour time differential. I'm not going to keep them up at 3 o'clock in the morning to come on the Dave Darren Show, so I'm going to work a schedule with them. So the bands like in the UK or Russia, I had some bands on from Russia. The first band I have coming on the 12th, is a band from Scotland. So his wake time is obviously very different than my East Coast Philadelphia airtime, so I had to do a pre-record with him. So there we go. So what about Metallica complained about the music stolen, and they had every right to complain about the music being stolen. You know why? Because their music was their product. That's what I don't understand why people think that the creation of a cell phone, this is a product, right? Music is a product. It's no different than this. It can be virtualized and turned into digitalized, I can't say that word, format, where it doesn't have to be on a physical device, although you still have to put on a physical device to play it, but the actual music content is ones and zeros transmitted to this device, so this device can play it so your ears can hear it. But it's still a product, no different than the material device that constitutes this cell phone. So I don't understand why all along music was never thought of as a product, where when the product is being stolen, it's being stolen. It's a theft. Someone broke in and they stole it, or they enabled it to be stolen by putting it out there on a media where everyone else could get in there, massive millions of people, and download it from the guy who intentionally put it out there and provided the means for it to be stolen. It was wrong. It should have been tended to a long time ago. And to be honest, Napster or Reverb Nation and SoundCloud should be shut the fuck down. I like iTunes. You get on iTunes, you hear a little sample of the music. If you decide you like that piece of music, you have to pay for it. It's 99 cents. Or some of the tracks are a little more. You hear a teaser, you decide if you like it, you buy the fucking thing. That's the way all music should be now. Should be no more freebies. There should be no more freebies. In fact, in all reality, YouTube should be shut the fuck down, because YouTube it's people sharing music again. Now, the difference with YouTube that makes it a little bit better is that if you put out a piece of music that is copywritten by ASCAP or BMI, those are the two licensing formats. If you put a piece of music, the band can enable you to be able to play that piece of music, but any commercial that runs, you notice YouTube has commercials, the commercials that run, the revenue for that commercial being run is revenue that gets generated and given to the band. So YouTube does have a formula to make sure that the band gets paid. So I like that, and that's another reason why my show is moving to YouTube. So if I have a band that's coming on, even if they're a band that's an unsigned band, if they have licensed their music and they're giving me legal ways to air their live video music, they're getting paid. Because that means that, for instance, if a band wants to be on a part of my show and they get it licensed, they allow me to interview them and play their music, they're getting paid to be on my show based upon the music I'm streaming for the band. I'm getting them some dollars in their pockets. So that's why I'm moving the show to YouTube and I'm off of Facebook, because I want to make sure bands that come on my show that have a work ethic, a desire to get paid, I want to make sure that their asses get paid. I like this formula. That's why it's moving to YouTube, in case you guys had no idea why I'm moving to YouTube. I want the bands that come on to make sure that their asses get paid. So all I got, I'm stepping away. Thanks for being a part of the show and maybe understanding a little bit more about the show. That's all I got. And you know what I do have, though, is I should end the show with my rock song, right? Which contains the F word, guys. And I'm finding it right now. I should have had it up ahead of time. What an unprofessional radio personality. That's all I got. See you guys on a week from Saturday. Or maybe before, because I do all these little rant and rave hostility shows. So I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Ciao.
Do you know the Dave Darren Show?
Hot enough to boil a monkey's bum.
Most people say, who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Like Disneyland, I'm the happiest fucking guy on earth.
Who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Are you a puff duck?
He used to be on terrestrial radio, but he got fired.
It's over. Don't you think it's over?
I'll spit.
Who the fuck is Dave Darren?
Here comes the boss fella now.
Dave Darren.